This is Raw on Netflix January 20th, 2025 full show results video which takes place at American Airlines Center in Dallas, Texas. We see that Rhea Ripley is walking along when Nia Jax blindsides her and beats her down, about putting her through a chain-link fence before referees and road agents swarm and general manager Adam Pearce calls for a medic. Main event Jey Uso makes his entrance and gets on the mic and he talks about Saturday night's main event and his plans to win the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, and then comes Gunther. He laughs off Jey's plans to win the title and calls him a funny little man, and they both know that's not how it's gonna happen. Last week Jey looked him in the eye and said every day he bets on himself, and he believed him. He was excited for their match until today, when he saw him walking in here pretending like their conversation never happened. Acting like a complete dork, like a mascot, and now he reckons he might as well fight Jimmy. Jey never follows up with his words, and what, he bets on himself until his cousin calls for him? Until Sami or Jim or Cody needs him? All that makes him is a useful idiot and he doesn't even realize it. Uso's words and actions do not align, but Gunther's do, he claims, and he says on Saturday when the bell rings, he's going to expose him as a flash in the pan with no business being that close to the World Heavyweight Championship. Jey admits he's right again, and yeah, he's the mascot and the people in the crowd are his team, his squad, who ride and slide with him and they'll be with him when he wins the title on Saturday, and Uso points out, he's main event WrestleMania and Gunther never has. The ring general snaps and attacks and we get a nice back and forth brawl until Uso sends him to the floor with a super kick and holds the title high in the ring before laying it down and telling him to come and get it. Gunther gets up on the apron briefly before backing off and taking his title and leaving. New Day are walking backstage and they're excited to run into John Bradshaw Layfield, who no doubt understands them and he's going to be on commentary for their match against Rey Mysterio. Kofi Kingston slides some money into his suit pocket and chuckles, saying you like money, before asking if he'll go out and make their case for them. JBL says he gets it. Big E had all those muscles and charisma and everybody loved him, and now that he's gone they gotta pay attention to them, right? New Day's countenance is sour and they walk off disappointed, and Layfield asks if he gets to keep the $2. Back from the commercial, Bayley is interviewed backstage and she says the cat is out of the bag and she's officially back on Raw. It feels good and it feels right, and she's also declaring herself in the Royal Rumble, and since she won last year, going back-to-back feels pretty good. She talks about picking a champion to fight, but she was interrupted by Nia Jax. She rolls up and speaks inaudibly for a beat before the mic kicks in and she says she's going to win the Royal Rumble. New Day cut a promo in their entrance annoyed at their music playing, and Kofi says the crowd is starting to piss him off with all the booing. They've been doing this too long to be disrespected like this and they're walking Hall of Famers, and he takes his money back from JBL. Then we saw a match between Kofi Kingston versus Rey Mysterio, and the result of this match was Rey Mysterio defeated Kofi Kingston by pinfall with a pinning predicament. Post-match, New Day go to put boots to Rey, but Joaquin Wilde and Cruz del Toro make the save. New Day make like they're gonna leave, but they come back to do a hit and run on Wilde and throw him into the post. Backstage, an interviewer is standing by while Chad Gable gets the rest of American made hyped up. He turns around and says he knows the whole wrestling world is talking about him and he knows it seems like he has a problem fighting luchadors, so he went to an intelligent man with a mustache to match. Dominic Mysterio is helping him out. Meanwhile, he's given the rest of the squad their marching orders to go after their various titles. Julius Creed says they're gonna take the tag titles away from a team at the end of their career and win them for themselves, just entering their prime. Back from the commercial, Sami Zayn is in the ring and gets on the mic, says he's not gonna beat around the bush. He spoke to Adam Pearce and he's officially entered into the 2025 Royal Rumble. Last week Seth Rollins told him he spends too much time helping other people and that got him thinking about what he wants. About 14-year-old him, about the millions around the world that dream of being pro wrestlers, and the thousands that get to live that dream, and the very small group lucky enough to call themselves WWE superstars. And then the smallest group, the top tier of WWE, and that's where he is now, and he firmly believes that he's every bit as good as the rest of those guys, and they're all in the Royal Rumble. Roman Reigns, Drew McIntyre, CM Punk, Seth Rollins, and the only difference between them is that they have world titles to their names, but he doesn't. He's had a great life, a great career, he doesn't feel like he needs the world title to complete himself, and the support from the fans through the years means more than any world title ever could. So no, he doesn't need the world title, but damn it, he wants it. 14-year-old him wants it and he's still with him, and that's why he's going to take the world title. Then comes Kevin Owens, carrying his purloined Winged Eagle WWE Championship, and Sami says he knew it was only a matter of time and asks Kevin how he wants to do this. Owens is confused and Zayn says the whole world saw what he did to Cody Rhodes, so how is this gonna go down? KO admits he didn't understand Sami with Roman Reigns at Survivor Series, but then he thought about it and he realized it was different. Sami and Roman have a lot of history, much like they do, and Zayn has overlooked a lot of things Reigns has done to him, same as he's forgiven Owens for similar trespasses. That's what Sami does, because he's a good person and Seth is right, Zayn does a lot for his friends, and that's why he's here as his very best friend. He believes that Sami Zayn can and will win the Royal Rumble, because he deserves to win the Royal Rumble and go on to fight for the WWE Championship. And then they can accomplish one more thing together, to accomplish what they dreamed of 25 years ago. They won the tag titles in the main event of WrestleMania, and now they can do it one-on-one for the title. And he knows Zayn will win the Royal Rumble because he has his back, and he knows that he's going to walk out as WWE Champion, because he knows Sami will have his back, because he's his best friend and his brother, and if he needs him he'll be there. Sheamus is interviewed backstage and he says some people would say he has the perfect WWE career backwards, because he beat John Cena about 6 months in, but the Intercontinental Championship is the first title that drew him to WWE as a kid and he's been obsessed with it for the last 5 years, but now the stars are aligned and he's going to fulfill his destiny. Braun Breaker rolls up and tells Sheamus to look at the title. He says this is as close as he'll ever get to the title, because on Saturday he's going to break him like an old man, so do a favor and retire. Sheamus does not, in fact, retire, and instead shoves Braun away. Then we saw a match between Bayley versus Nia Jax. We see that Bayley lays Jax out with a suicide dive and gets in Roxanne Perez's face. Perez goes for a slap, but Bayley blocks it and punches her down. WWE security holds Perez back from jumping the barricade and Bayley laughs at her. In the end, Nia hits a Samoan drop and a senton, dragging her into the corner, then finished Bayley with the bonsai drop, and won the match by pinfall. Post-match, Rhea Ripley stalks her way out and down the ramp and the brawl is on. Nia Jax trips her up on the apron, bounces her head off the announce desk, clears the announce desk, referees and road agents and security trying to get them separated. Rhea with a cannonball senton off the table before getting pulled back apart. Ripley grabs a microphone and books a match between them for Saturday night's main event. Chad Gable is chatting with Dominic Mysterio in the Judgment Day clubhouse. Dom says he knows a guy that can help him out and hands him a folded-up piece of paper. Gable says he's gonna go master the dark arts of Lucha Libre. JD McDonough starts talking about how they have a tag title rematch, but Finn Balor is out hurt, so what are they gonna do? Dominic offers to step in for him and everybody agrees that Finn won't mind. Mysterio tells Liv Morgan that he knows she's not mad, but he has an idea to make it up to her anyway, and they walk off together. Sami Zayn catches Seth Rollins backstage and thanks him for the talk last week. Seth says he heard him out there and he respects him and he's almost rooting for him in the Royal Rumble, but of course, push comes to shove he'll throw him right out. Zayn of course says not if he does so first. The next match happened between Penta versus Pete Dunne, and the result of this match was Penta defeated Pete Dunne by pinfall with the Penta driver. CM Punk makes his entrance through the crowd and is interviewed from up high in the stands, and he says he's the maker of history, and just 3 short weeks ago he main evented the first Monday Night Raw live on Netflix and beat Seth Rollins, the favorite to win the Royal Rumble. It's a fickle business and the stakes are too high and the lights too bright, and that's when CM Punk thrives, when he is at his best with these people behind him. He can't see John Cena throwing him over the top rope. Roman Reigns needed his help to settle family business at War Games. He put Drew McIntyre in the dirt. Sami Zayn isn't on his level. You put Hulk Hogan in the Royal Rumble and he'll put his dusty ass over the top rope and end Hulkmania once and for all. His name is CM Punk and he's settling scores, cashing in debts, and calling in a favor or two to make sure one man, one name, 3 syllables, gets his hands raised, CM Punk. The next match happened between Damage Control versus Pure Fusion Collective, and the result of this match was Damage Control defeated Pure Fusion Collective by pinfall with the diving moonsault from Io Sky on Shayna Baszler. In the main event of the show, we saw a match between Drew McIntyre versus Seth Rollins, and the result of this match was Seth Rollins defeated Drew McIntyre by pinfall with a jackknife pin. Post-match, a furious McIntyre attacks Rollins and chases the referee out of the ring. Claymore lays Seth out and Drew drags him over to the corner and puts his head against the post, but Sami Zayn makes the save and puts McIntyre into the post. Sami checks on Seth and rolls him to safety before going back to McIntyre and eating a hard headbutt and getting thrown into the barricade on the ramp. Back inside, Drew sidesteps and Rollins eats the hell of a kick. McIntyre cackles while Zayn is full of remorse and Rollins furious, and the show goes off the air. How much you would rate this week's Monday Night Raw? Let me know in the comments, and thanks for watching the video.